The Army is one of a country's most important assets. A strong army is essential for a nation's safety and security. Every nation is making efforts to modernize its armed forces and gain an upper hand over its enemies in these shifting geopolitical times. There are several crucial factors to consider when analyzing the strength of a nation's military. The capability and availability of equipment are essential. The quality of training each soldier receives is vital. Their commanders' ability to consistently devise effective tactical strategies can be pivotal. But one of the most fundamental measures of a country's military strength is the number of soldiers it can deploy. In this video, we listed the top 10 armies in the world with the highest number of total military personnel. Enjoy! Number 10 is Taiwan. The past 20 years has seen an increasingly stark disconnect between Taiwan and China, as a distinctive Taiwanese identity has flourished. The relationship between Taiwan and China has posed a political challenge since 1949, when Mao Zedong's Communist People's Liberation Army forces defeated the Republic of China's military and forced Chiang Kai-shek's government to flee to Taiwan. It's worth noting that up to this day, no armistice or peace treaty between both sides has ever been signed. Since 1949, Taiwan has maintained a large military for a country of its size, using conscription and extensive purchases of US equipment to create a very effective deterrent force. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, Taiwan has the 10th largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 1.8 million troops out of a population of over 23.3 million. There are 169,000 active, over 1.6 million reserve, and almost 12,000 paramilitary personnel. Number 9 is Iran. Iran is a major regional military power, with a military doctrine that combines territorial defense through national mobilization and a substantial missile arsenal. Unable to import weapon systems from abroad due to international and US sanctions, and suffering from an increasingly aging Air Force fleet, Iran has invested considerable funds into an ambitious ballistic and cruise missile program for long-range strike capability, and has manufactured different types of arms and munitions, including tanks, armored vehicles, and drones. Interestingly, Russia has procured hundreds of drones from Iran that have been used to attack cities and power infrastructure in Ukraine. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, Iran has the 9th largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 2 million troops out of an approximate population of 86 million. There are 610,000 active, 350,000 reserve, and 1.1 million paramilitary personnel. Number 8 is Brazil. Brazil's armed forces are the second largest in the Americas, after the United States. Yet Brazil is not a global military power, lacking nuclear capabilities and the ability to launch ballistic missiles. In terms of foreign relations, Brazil has historically been a peaceful nation, guided by diplomacy and by political and commercial pragmatism. It has generally not involved itself in conventional conflicts with other countries, except as an auxiliary force to Britain and the United States during World Wars I and II. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, Brazil has the 8th largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 2.1 million troops out of an approximate population of 215.4 million. There are almost 370,000 active, over 1.3 million reserve, and 395,000 paramilitary personnel. Number 7 is the United States. The Star-Spangled Banner marks the strongest military power in the world. Despite the United States' withdrawal from Afghanistan, its armed forces still have an imposing presence around the world. At the time of making this video, according to the Defense Manpower Data Center's website, the US Armed Forces have the 7th largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 2.1 million troops out of an approximate population of 333.3 million. There are over 1.3 million active and almost 800,000 reserve personnel. Number 6 is China. Naturally, A country of over 1.4 billion people has a strong military presence, but it has not been involved in any major armed conflict in recent decades. However, tensions between China, Taiwan, and the United States has increased over the past year. This unpredictable rising power in the East has the second largest defense budget in the world, over $200 billion. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, China has the sixth largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 3 million troops out of a population of over 1.4 billion. There are over 2 million active, 500,000 reserve, and over 500,000 paramilitary personnel. Number 5 is Russia. After World War II, the archenemy of the United States was, of course, the Communist Soviet Union. Today, despite huge losses in Ukraine, Russia still retains the military might of their former Red Empire. It has the largest number of nuclear weapons in the world, 6,257, but only one aircraft carrier, which is under maintenance since 2017 and is not expected to be back in service before 2024. Before the war in Ukraine, according to the Military Balance, Russia had almost 3.5 million troops out of a population of almost 145 million. There were 900,000 active, 2 million reserve, and almost 600,000 paramilitary personnel. However, these numbers are changing by the hour because of the losses in Ukraine and the partial mobilization of hundreds of thousands of citizens in Russia. According to some claims, until now, Russia has lost at least 60,000 soldiers. Number 4 is India. The Indian Army, as we know it today, became operational after the country gained independence from the British on the 15th of August 1947. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, India has the fourth largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 5 million troops out of an approximate population of 1.4 billion. There are almost 1.5 million active, over 1.1 million reserve, and 2.5 million paramilitary personnel. Number 3 is Vietnam. Vietnam is known as having one of the more capable militaries in Southeast Asia. The People's Army of Vietnam, also recognized as the Vietnamese People's Army, is the main military force of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. It is one component of the Vietnam People's Armed Forces, which also consists of the Vietnam People's Public Security, the main police and security forces, and the Vietnam Self-Defense Militia. Conscription is still actively enforced in Vietnam for young men from 18 to 27 years of age. Young women are eligible for mandatory service, but not drafted. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, Vietnam has the third largest number of total military personnel in the world, with over 5.6 million troops out of an approximate population of 98.5 million. There are almost 500,000 active, 5 million reserve, and 120,000 paramilitary personnel. Number 2 is South Korea. The origin of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces can be traced back to the Korean Liberation Army, which was established during the Japanese rule of Korea by the Provisional Government of Korea in exile in Chongqing, the Republic of China, in 1940. Many of its members became part of the South Korean Armed Forces later. After Korea was liberated from the Empire of Japan on August 15, 1945, the Korean Constabulary and the Korean Coast Guard were established through the United States Army military government in Korea. The Korean Constabulary and the Korean Coast Guard became the Republic of Korea Army and the Republic of Korea Navy, respectively, and in 1948 formed the South Korean Armed Forces. At the time of making this video, according to the Military Balance, South Korea has the second largest number of total military personnel in the world, with almost 6.7 million troops out of an approximate population of 51.7 million. There are 555,000 active, 3.1 million reserve, and over 3 million paramilitary personnel. Number 1 is North Korea. In one of the most secretive states on Earth, The Korean People's Army is believed to have been found on the 25th of April 1932. Until 1977, the original Korean People's Army official date of establishment was the 8th of February 1948. But in 1978, it was changed on 25th April 1932 because Kim Il-sung's anti-Japanese guerrilla army, the Korean People's Revolutionary Army, was considered the predecessor of the Korean People's Army. However, to make it more complicated than it actually is, the date of establishment was officially changed back to 8th February 1948 by 2019. North Korea has mandatory military service, so pretty much everyone does a rather long stint in the army. According to current regulations, men serve 10 years while females are conscripted up to the age of 23. At the time of making this video, according to the military balance, North Korea has the largest number of total military personnel in the world, with almost 7.8 million troops out of a population of over 25.5 million. There are almost 1.3 million active, 600,000 reserve, and over 5.8 million paramilitary personnel.